CCC family, it's Dawn Marie with Custom Comfy Crochet, and today we're going to learn how to make a Tunisian beanie. It's really super easy, but if you've never done Tunisian crochet before, it might be a little bit intermediate for you, but even if you haven't, it's really fun to do, and I really think this will still be easy for you if you're a beginner. But I am using a Tunisian hook. It's a 5.5 millimeter hook. As you can see, they're very long. You can find these on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below. They're not really expensive at all, and you get a full set, and they're pretty good. You will need a pair of scissors, and you will need a darning needle, or you might call it a crochet needle. Looks like this. Okay. So the way that this is worked is, before we get into the tutorial, I'm going to explain this to you, but I do want to say real quick, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notify me bell below that you see there in the red so that you can get notifications of my future videos. And sharing this video helps more than anything. So if you have any friends that love to crochet, if you're in any crochet groups, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of those things, it helps so much to share videos. So if you can do that, I really appreciate it. Okay, so on to the project here. This is worked, it's worked like this. So you're going to be working up this way, but then when you go to join it for the beanie, it goes this way. So then you would just fold it like this, and then you would sew down the side, cinch up the top, and then you could put a little thing on the front. And this is a slouchy beanie. And so then I have one of these poofs for the top of the hat. And I got these off Amazon as well, and I'll put them in the description box below so that you can find those. But yeah, that's how this is worked. So you're working back and forth, going down. And what you want is you want about 12 inches this way. And the reason why I'm telling you that is, of course, I'm going to give you a count for this. So you'll have your count, but some people crochet loosely or tightly. And the same goes with Tunisian crochet. It's the same. You could be tight or a loose, Tunisian crocheter. So just remember you want 12 inches this way, and then you're going to want 21, around 21 going this way. And this is for an average large, or I wouldn't even say large. It's just an average beanie that will fit a teenager on up to an adult, okay? So, and to make this smaller, you could change your stitch count, and that would obviously make it smaller as far as circumference goes. And if you're making this as a gift for someone, you can measure their head and so on and so forth, okay? So let's go ahead and get on. I'm gonna show you how to do this, and then I'm gonna show you how to finish it up and how to put our little poof at the top. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to chain 48, okay? So you take your Tunisian hook, and you're just going to chain though, just like you would normally, 48. Okay, so we have our 48. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to, in this first stitch right here, so you've got your loop on your Tunisian crochet hook right here, and then you've got this, you're not going into the first stitch, you're going to go into the second stitch. And you're going to go right in, and you're going to pull up a loop, okay? So again, you're going to go in your next stitch, go straight into the stitch, and pull up a loop. And again, through your next, pull up a loop. And again, through your next, pull up a loop. And as I'm going, I'm just using my pointer finger here to push back on the yarn, okay? And this is 48 stitches, so it's going to fill up your hook, your Tunisian hook. So you're just going to go all the way down, pulling up loops like this. Okay? Just like that. Okay, so we're coming close to the end here of pulling up all of our loops, and as you can see, my Tunisian hook is very full. So what I'm just going to do is you can just push down like that, and then or bring up towards the top here, and then you would just keep pulling up the loops. So I just wanted to show you what that looks like. Okay, and so now we're in our last loop, so we're going to pull that up as well. And like I said, we should still have 48, okay, loops on our hook. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push all these forward to make it easier. And then I'm going to start doing a simple Tunisian crochet going down. So I'm going to yarn over, go through my first loop, okay? Then I'm going to yarn over and go through 2 loops. Then I'm going to yarn over and go through 2 more loops. And yarn over and go through 2 loops. And again, yarn over and go through 2 loops. And you're just going to keep doing that all the way down. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And then here at the end, you've got 2 loops left, and you're going to go through both those 2 as well to end that row, okay? So that's what it looks like, just like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start working on what you're going to be doing for the whole rest of this beanie, okay? So as you can see here, we've got these lines right here, these front stitches that look like little lines. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see them there. And they've got a back and a front to them. So you can see the front one and then you can see the back one. So what you're going to do for the first 9 stitches, you're going to turn this over and you're going to go through the back loop and you're going to pull up a loop. And again, looking for the back. And if you're having trouble finding it, okay, just look here at the front for this line and that lets you know where it is. So right there is the back. I'm going to pull up a loop and I'm going to be working through the back loops, like I said, 9 times. So there's 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, okay? So that's all working through those back loops. And then for the rest of the row, you're going to be working through the front loops, okay? So put your yarn through here and pull up a loop, and through there and pull up a loop, just like this. And you're going to do that all the way down. And then when you get to the end, and not everyone with Tunisian crochet does this, you can just go through this front one right here, but I like the way it looks when you go through both. So at the end here, you can see that you've got 2 strands, okay? So I want to go through both of those, and I just think it gives it a smoother look. So I just go through both and pull up, okay, just like that. And that's our last one. And this is what it looks like. It's all a little bit curvy. That's normal. That's exactly the way it's supposed to look. So then again, I'm going to push up so it's easier. I'm going to go through my first loop just once, and then I'm going to go through 2. And again, I'm going to keep doing that all the way down. And so now we've got our last 2 loops and we're going to go through those as well. So as you can see, you basically, and you can't really tell yet, but you're going to be able to see, you can kind of tell here where you've worked through the back and where you've worked through the front. Because when we work through these back stitches back here, that's going to be our brim, okay? So again, you're going to do the same thing that you did before for these first 9 stitches. You're going to go over to the back. and you're going to pull up loops coming from the back instead of the front, okay? And you want to make sure to remember to get this first one here. And then you're just going to keep looking for these in the back. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, and as you can see right here, just by doing that, you can see the difference, how this is going back and this is going forward. Okay, and those will line up as you go. If you want to use a stitch marker here, you can to help you see it, but basically just make sure that your count is accurate. Okay, and then for these other stitches, you're just going to go through the front loops, pulling up a loop all the way down. And that's all there is to it. You just keep doing that over and over and over again, and then pulling back, and you just keep going and going and going until you get your 21 inches. And it just makes a lovely slouchy beanie. And of course, you don't have to do so many 21 inches. You could do it a little bit shorter, and it could just be a regular beanie. It wouldn't have to be slouchy. So it's all up to you on how you want to do this. You could change colors. You could do all kinds of wonderful stuff for this easy Tunisian beanie. Okay, so now I'm going to pull out the one that I have already ready right here, and we're going to start stitching this up. Okay, I've left quite a bit of yarn here to work with because I want to go all the way up the side of my beanie to close it, and then I also want enough to use it for the top to close it as well, which is done by just cinching it up. But if you don't know how to do that, I'm going to show you how to do that as well. But we have this as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pull through this and finish off because that was still on the crochet hook. Okay, and all I'm going to do is simply go through the tops of these right here. I'm going to go right through there, and then I'm going to go through this stitch here. So just like this. And then I'll go through the next one. And through the next. Okay, so in case you can't see what I'm doing here, I'm going to pull this closer. I'm taking my darning needle, I'm going right under through these stitches right here, and then I'm picking up the stitch on the other side, just like this. And then I'm pulling out. So I'm trying to line them up as best as I can. Okay, so you keep doing this all the way down, and I'll keep doing it, and then we'll meet back up together when we get close to the end. Okay, we're coming up to our last stitch here. I've worked all the way down through all these stitches. We're in our last one, so we're just going to simply go through just like we've been doing and tighten through just like that. Okay, so now we have our side all stitched up and all done. And now we want to make sure that the ribbing that we've done is pointing down and that this is pointing up, because we're going to go ahead and we're going to cinch up our top. So to do that, all you're going to do, you don't even have to undo that one that we just did. You're just simply going to go in and out of these stitches, just like this, in and out, and then pull. And then again, in and out. Make sure you're going through the very top loops here. So we're right there where we first started. And so now all you have to do is just pull. And when you go to pull, it's going to close up that top right there. Okay? Just like that. And so then if you want to, you can go back and forth a couple times just to make sure this will stay closed up. And then what I'm going to do is, and I'm going to go ahead and you see that's all finished. What a beautiful beanie. It looks so much like knit as well. Really quick and easy to do. And Tunisian crochet has, you know, a very bad reputation for curling. And a lot of people will start Tunisian crochet because it's just fun to do. It's a different thing to do when you're doing crochet. It's fun to get them all on your hook. It's kind of like knitting, but then you're not having to knit, which is good, especially if you don't know how to knit. And so it's fun to do that. But then you start getting a square and it's just turning everywhere and it's just such a pain. So that's why doing beanies is really great, because it doesn't matter if it turns, because in the end, that's what you want it to do. You want it to turn in and make a circle. So that's another great thing about making a beanie out of Tunisian crochet. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my little poof here and I'm going to find the end. I got lucky and I found it right there. It's the little piece that they put on there for you to sew it on. And so I'm just simply going to go through that just like this. And then I'm going to go right through the middle. And then I'm going to pull this down. If you feel like it's not tight enough once you do this and then pull that right through the middle, then you could, and see it pulled it right down. If you don't think that's usually pretty tight for me with these. But if you feel like you need to do it again, you can also go through the inside, go through the loop again and come back down again. But what I'm going to do is just pull this inside out just like that. And I'm going to work this in. First thing I'm going to do is pull it through and I'm going to make a knot, because you want this to be really tight for that poof at the top. So I'm just going to pull through, do a little knot, then I'm going to go through again and do another knot, just like that. Just making sure it's nice and tight. And then I'm going to work this in for the rule of 3. I'm going to go through 3 times, trying to make sure that I get the back loops. Don't want to mess up my what I've got going on here at all with my Tunisian crochet, but we do want it worked in where it never comes undone. Okay, so I've worked that the rule of 3, and then I can cut off, and then I've got this little strand I need to work in. But besides that, we have a beautiful finished slouchy beanie, and it's all done. So these are great fun. Give it a try, guys. Let me know how it turns out. I love it when you show me your pictures as well. So feel free to share those. You can share those with me on Instagram, on Facebook. And with your permission, I love to share your work as well. So, and also you can find me at all those places if you need me. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on TikTok, Facebook, of course, right here on YouTube, and I have a Gmail. So, and all of that is in the description box below. So I'll see you soon, guys. Happy crocheting. Bye-bye.